Hi, happy Thursday. I'm just gonna have a little ramble. Kids have gone out for a walk. Even the fucking dog's gone out, which is nice. Stop it. I said to myself I'm gonna try not to swear too much in this because it's getting out of hand and I can't help it, but I can. I could train myself to sort of tone down so I'm not so offensive. It was quite funny actually. Somebody shared my video the other day, one of my videos, and when I went to check, how it had been received or, whatever, I was like, oh God, because I'm always just, I don't like, yeah, anyway. And it was nice, there were some nice comments and, some likes and stuff. But this one comment, and you always, the negative one always pops out to you, doesn't it? But this one was like, it just said, oh, won't be enjoying much of this, me chatting. So I was like, oh, won't you? Fuck off then. Shit. Look, my thumb went to press the stop button because I've been swearing too much already. Never mind, forget it. So I'm just going to have a little conspire because while all this this light is flashing, what the hell? That's it. Gosh, isn't it trippy? Isn't life trippy at the moment? Some days it's just so beautiful. Some days I'm seriously like investigating and I'm not. And there's part of me that's like, what the fuck are you doing? Because I feel like since my awakening, and then, by the way, I'm saying awakening, the one night that did it for me, it's that experience, that moment that just wakes you up, even further. And for me, that was March 2018. But prior to that, I'd been using plant medicines, magic mushrooms, with the intention of healing myself. So I've been healing for a few years. On the journey of awakening, but this night in March changed everything for me. So since then, I feel like I've gone on a whole roller coaster. I threw myself into all the rabbit holes straight away, and then how I was reacting to the information that I'd consumed was being shown to me in my outside world. So I went through some horribly, twisty, dark sort of perceptions where I was an angel or something, and everybody else was like demons and devils around me. I was like, it was a strange sort of time that I got myself into. What the hell was my point? Right. But as I had balanced and adjusted everything, I realised that the rabbit holes were the fucking traps, right? And so for 2 years, I feel like what I've been trying to say on my videos is that however we wake up, whichever external avenue it is, and now is a big opportunity, obviously. I really do believe that this is it. This is a time, this is a chance for mass awakenings, the great awakening, that we've all felt about, we've all feel like we knew about, came here for, somehow. And it's just like pretty awful, really, the way that the opportunity has arisen with all this dirtiness that's going on, with all this bullshittery around this pandemic of epic proportions. Oh, and so the more you look into it, the more crazy it becomes. The thing that's going on at the moment is that obviously information's been suppressed, especially any chat about 5G and Ofcom's changed its rules and YouTube pulls everything down and blah, 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 blah. But there's still thousands of other people that talk about, 5G and all this, and it's like, still, I'm like, and if your video gets pulled down, and what, just make another. And if everybody just keeps talking, they can't suppress anything, it's all mind tricks, isn't it? It's like, I wasn't really impressed, and again, who am I to judge, but Brian Rose on London Real, the whole way that he'd gone about this whole thing with David Icke and coronavirus and the 5G and, oh, I've been targeted, I've been banned, let's get London Army, let me do some handstands, show you my pecs. And, I feel like I'm watching some weirdness going on with what he's how he's stepping forward, you know. But at the same time, you know, there's, regardless of his intentions or his sort of alliances or even his own selfish financial agenda or, you know, want for whatever, the idea of a freedom platform that can't be taken down is good. So, you know, maybe I'm being a bitch. This is a right fucking ramble. Jesus, thank God I can do this, because sometimes I try and talk to Mark and it's like he needs a shield, because I'm 1,000 miles an hour from 1,000 different angles, making sense to no one but myself. So, right. So then, what happens when something gets taken down is that people automatically assume that there's validity to it. So I've been, over these last few weeks, gently looking into a few things that I needed confirmation on, because I'd not gone down the rabbit hole enough. For me personally, I am such a, and this is part of what I'm trying to heal as well. I'm very I don't trust very well, you know. I'm sort of like very suspicious of everything and everyone, and it's just the way I've always been. Shit, Patrick. Oh, so I'm reserving conclusions and judgment on a lot of things, but I've spent a long time this last week really trying to listen fully to the opinions of these people that are speaking out, you know, these doctors. So I've been listening to Andrew Kaufman a little bit more, and London Real has provided the platform for these, so I'll stop slagging him and his pecs off for now. But and Dr. Batar and this Dr. Shiva, as well as this AIDS researcher, you know, this Dr. Judy Markovich, I think she's called. And they're like 2.5-hour interviews, so it's heavy going, you know. It's like, obviously the kids are here and we're playing and just being normal, but we're taking it in shifts, in turns, you know, just so we can go in the other side of the fucking room, the house or whatever, and just do what we want to do for a little bit, you know, because otherwise we're all just on top of each other and it's like, ugh. So, so on my time, I've been investigating like a little bitch, and so I've been annoyed with myself because this paradox constantly. It's like understanding that these things are sent here to trip us up and to keep us in a certain perception and vibration, and really everything's all about the mind tricks and how we are controlled. And what's exciting to me now, regardless of any conclusion about this virus, is that so many things are being uncovered. It literally is it's the unveiling of everything. And for me, the biggest thing is just understanding and seeing the medical corruption, and really understanding just how insidious it is. The beautiful thing is that as all this information comes out, we find new ways to boost our immune system. We find new ways to keep our bodies toxin free. You know, we're all, hopefully everybody else is as well. I know I am, you know, just trying to be way more aware of what's going in my body, and ways to counteract any potential harm, you know, that comes at us all the time. So it's very horribly dark and murky the deeper you go into all this. But it does need to be done. I don't know whether I necessarily need to be doing it. There's millions of people doing it, but these things do need to be done. So it's like, I'm really enjoying myself. But what is going on is just horrendous confusion, I think. And it's like there's these, you know, these main sort of doctors or experts that are being thrown around and passed around, you know. Then we've got Max Egan or David Icke or Matt from Quantum of Conscience, woo, and all these people, you know. And still, I'm just like, and they're just one person. Even if you've got all the letters after your name, like Dr. Shiva Arivaduri or whatever his name is, or, you know, Dr. Buttar or David Icke. And I love seeing people's truth and integrity and honesty, and the stories and everything, but there's no clear sort of thing. Shit, the kids are back now, I can hear them. and Mark's going to need to use this booth to do his work, bastard. Right, I'm quickly going to say this and I'll rant again another day. So what I was thinking from the off, and for years since I had this awakening, it was like, it's all about the blood, you're here for a reason, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, couldn't this just literally be a cover-up? It could be a fucking man-made, altered virus, you know, with a sinister intention of culling the population. It could be the effects of 5G. It could be just exosomes, and we're just, you know, over exaggerating everything for whatever. You know, people think it's just to get the nanny state and the security and the control, and, you know, get us all transhuman and plugged into this smart grid. But I was thinking, I wonder if it's as simple as they've used this as a cover, for just as simply as getting everybody's fucking data, everybody's genetic material. So you're either going to be tested. This is if you know, if you're fearful, which they've done the best to get you into that fucking frequency, haven't they? And continue to do so. By the way, my favourite thing at the moment that I've been laughing at is newsreaders wearing the mask. That just fucking kills me. Anyway. So yeah, just as simply as that. It's like they're either going to get the test or the antibody test, or they'll be forced to get the vaccine. And it's like, it's just a perfect excuse, isn't it, to get everybody's genetic material, everybody's DNA, everybody's RNA. And as I'm looking into all this medical corruption, especially to do with the vaccines and things, and I'm finding really sinister things, and I'm like, oh fuck. So there's this gene, and I've written it down somewhere and I can't remember what it is. I'm gonna say it's B-014, but I've made it up. But it's this certain marker, and I think they were calling it something like the fundamentalist gene or something like that. And there were these studies done, I think it was 2014, it might be prior to that. I've got all my shit down here. I'm going to do another video when I've got it all. But basically, this vaccine was to be used, this was the story, you know, to be used in the Middle East to try and attack the fundamentalist gene, which would turn a fundamentalist, you know, somebody who's unpredictable or potential danger or whatever, into a normal person, like a sort of like a compliancy. And it was obviously used and said as if it was a positive thing. But now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, they're going to get everybody's genetic material, which is surely it's the most valuable commodity on earth, isn't it? It's not the data from our computers and the data from our bank accounts and mobile phones like everybody else thinks. It's our human data. It's our fucking genetic code. It's our genetic material. And what if they want to address or to find, you know, people who have this certain marker that makes them potentially free thinkers, potentially, you know, whatever. And then they're going to use the vaccine to make us comply, to switch it off, to, you know, mind control in some way. So that was my little conspiracy, you know, just to add on to the heap of everything. It's like, I'm not confusing anything, you know, still in my head it's like, why would they do all this? It could be a live experiment, you know, sort of simulation for what would happen when the next new strain comes in, you know, COVID-20, and we'll have to blah, blah, blah and all this. But so obviously everything's on the table. It could be that, but I'm just like, what a genius plan, just to get everybody's data, everybody's genetic code, everybody's, and then you can do whatever you want with that. Obviously they can say it's used for good things, but, you know, the potential for fuckery is just so high. It's very disconcerting. And I just want to say this as well, 1411, before I go. I'm going to do a different video that won't be as scattered and fragmented. I can hear how fast I'm talking and my top lip's sweating. But yeah, just, shit, it's gone from my fucking head. Yeah. I don't know. But aside from that, you know, I've had a bit of time to myself, so I'm listening to things, I'm writing things down, I'm trying to get it all. But some things, you know, there's a lot of things that are, for me still, they're not right, and I think misinformation and disinformation is rife, and including myself, we don't know we're doing this sometimes, you know, passing on misinformation or things that have not been validated, or things that with a, you know, a bit of a longer gaze on, you can see holes in. And then people start weaving stories together, and it's worst case scenario, it's doom, gloom, da 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 da, everybody's going to murder us and pin us down and make us have vaccines. And there were some laws changed in the UK yesterday, and I saw a few videos, you know, sort of exposing that or hamming it up, or again, not hamming it up. It's like these things we need to know that these things exist, but we also don't need to get scared. It's like nobody's going to be pinning me down and putting a vaccine in me. I know that. I just know that. And the same as, you know, I'm sure a lot of you are. It's like, and Laura Eisenhower actually said on one of her videos, it was like, you know, worst case scenario, they tie you down and they fucking make you have the vaccine. Well, there's so many people who know how to get these toxins and these dangerous elements of the vaccinations out of your body with different things. So she's like, stock up your cabinet with the things that you need, you know, to expel the shit. You know, there's things that you can do, but nobody will be doing that to me, because I have a voice, and we all have voices. And if we arm ourselves up with just a little bit of information and we grow our balls just a little bit, there's no way they can do this. It's like, it's 2020, guys, you know, don't get scared. We are the world, you know, it's us. Individually and collectively, we are it, and there are more of us than them. There is going to be no mandatory vaccination. I don't think. I don't think it's not going to be. They'll get people to want it. You know, people will have it fucking willingly, because that's how clever they've been to the people that are already halfway asleep. You know, mind controlled anyway. It's like, they'll be begging for it. So that's fine. Maybe, you know, that's enough for them to get, you know, again, it's like, if it's a solely financial motive and not a murderous agenda, then that sits with me a little bit better, but still, you know, I don't want to. Basically, what I'm saying is, chill out. I'm talking to myself and anyone else who's getting bothered by all this jazz. Whoosh, let's just chill out. No one person knows everything. You can't even get the experts to agree. I do like the fact that people are coming together, and these chats need to happen with the most intelligent people across the world, with the most experience, which, you know, these people are, and it's great. And obviously, with all the other shit that's been exposed, it's just like, oh. But yeah, no, yesterday, little bit of grief, so I'm back on it today, and I'm feeling all right. And I kind of wish, this is my whole dichotomy. Why am I even doing this? Why am I looking into this? Why do I feel it's necessary? Why do I need to speak about it? Why do I blah blah blah? But I'm just doing what I'm told, you know, from myself to myself. So whatever. And if nothing else, it's just good therapy, and now I don't need to verbally vomit this shit on someone else. So job's a good one. Right, I'm going. Happy Thursday. Sorry for that verbal diarrhea. Bye, bye, bye.